Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Thursday, May the 22nd, and we're here to look at new releases that have been published this week. Every day of the week, we look at a different genre of books published this week. On Mondays, we look at cozy mysteries. On Tuesdays, we look at crime fiction and thrillers. Wednesday is romance. Thursday, like today, is fantasy and science fiction. Friday is Freeform Friday. We look at whatever the heck I want to look at. Quite often it is leftovers from earlier in the week. Quick announcements. I do have sprints tonight. Sorry, I'm cleaning my glasses. I do have sprints tonight. We do them every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoons. Let's see if I can see. I can see. Hope you're having a good day. Let us pop in to fantasy and science fiction. First up, The Memory Collectors by Deet Meserve. This is one of Goodreads' most anticipated books of 2025. It says, 4 strangers time travel to the past and find themselves stuck on the day all their lives were changed, etc. What would you do if you could spend an hour in your past? 4 strangers in the beach town of Ventura, California are about to find out. Elizabeth aches for one more precious hour with her son, who died in a senseless accident. Andy is desperate to find his first love, who vanished after a whirlwind romance. Logan craves the rush of surfing and mountain climbing, yearning to reclaim the freedom he lost after a misstep landed him in a wheelchair. Brooke is looking for an hour of relief from the guilt of an unforgivable mistake. Enter Ian Expeditions, the groundbreaking time travel invention of Mark Saunders, which allows some lucky clients the chance to spend an hour in their past. Even though Ian's technology ensures time travel can't alter the future, all 4 clients, including Mark's ex-wife Elizabeth, yearn to revisit the hour that changed their lives forever. But when their hour extends beyond 60 minutes, they find themselves stranded in the past. As their paths intertwine unexpectedly, they unearth shocking secrets hidden in the shadows of their shared history. All their lives were shattered the same night on a secluded highway by the beach. As they delve into the hidden truths of that pivotal hour, a startling revelation emerges. They were not alone. Someone else was present, harboring deadly intentions. That sounds intriguing. You know I love me some time travel. Good morning, Mary. Happy Thursday. Glad to be back. Didn't make yesterday due to a haircut appointment. Now I am shorn and feeling more spring-like. Oh, I bet that felt good. And she finally finished Pro Bono by Thomas Perry yesterday. Plan to go to the library today to pick out some new ones. Oh, fun. Happy hunting. Rebel in the Deep by Katie Robert. 3rd in the Crimson Sails trilogy. Knox has been steadfastly working for the rebellion for years. They don't ask for much in return except for one crucial condition. Their ex, the noble Bastion, stays as far away from them as possible. To say things ended poorly between them is an understatement, and it's the only relationship Knox has never quite recovered from. But now the rules have changed. Siobhan, the rebel leader, has emerged from hiding to tell Knox that Bastion's been taken captive, and the secrets he holds tight are in danger of being revealed. The fate of their entire rebellion now rests on Knox and Siobhan's ability to rescue Bastion from a ship. Saving Bastion is only the start of their hardships, as the trio is tracked by ferocious pirates. I didn't even try that word. Across Threshold, and Knox's complicated relationships and entanglements with Bastion and Siobhan put not only their life at risk, but their heart on the line. It looked kind of Welsh Celtic. I did not try it. Behooved by M. Stevenson. Bianca knows her duty comes before her heart, so when the threat of war looms, she agrees to marry the neighboring kingdom's heir. But not all royal weddings are a fairy tale, and Prince Eric, Bianca's betrothed, is cold, aloof, and seems to hate her on sight. To make matters worse, on their wedding night, an assassination attempt goes awry, leaving Eric magically transformed into a horse. I hate it when that happens. Bianca does what any bride in this situation would do. She mounts her new husband and rides away to safety. Oh God. I'm not going to say anything. Sunset returns Eric to human form, but they soon discover the assassination attempt is part of a larger plot against the throne. Worse, Bianca has been framed for Eric's murder, and she's now saddled with a husband who is a horse by day and a frustratingly attractive man by night. As an unexpected romance begins galloping away with their hearts, Bianca and Eric must rely on each other to unravel the curse and save the throne. And I didn't click on it. We'll give it its moment while I have a sip of my coffee. And they're stealing some elements from the movie Ladyhawke. Well, this one's intriguing. This one is inspired by Zorro. This is called Salvacion by Sandra Proudman. Lola de la Peña yearns to be free from the societal expectations of a young Mexican lady of her station. She spends her days pretending to be delicate and proper while watching her mama cure the sick and injured with sal negra, black salt, a recently discovered magic that heals even the most mortal of sicknesses and wounds. But by night, she is Salvacion, the free-spirited lady vigilante protecting the town of Coloma from those who threaten its peace and safety among the rising tension in Alta California after the signing of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. But one night, a woman races into Coloma, barely alive, to tell the horrifying tale of how her town was obliterated by sal roja, red salt, a potent, deadly magic capable of obliterating anything it comes into contact with, and about the man who wields it, Damian Hernandez. So when Hernandez arrives the next day with a party of 50 strong and promises of returning Alta California to Mexico, Lola knows it's only a matter of time before he brings the region under his rule. All Hernandez needs is the next full moon and the stolen ancient amulet he carries to mine enough sal roja to conquer the land. Determined to protect everything she loves, Lola races against time as Salvacion to stop his plans. What she didn't count on was the distracting and infuriating Alejandro, who travels with Hernandez but doesn't seem to share his ambitions. Of course not, because he's our hero. With the stakes higher than ever and Hernandez getting closer to his goals, Lola will do anything to foil his plans, even teaming up with Alejandro, who she doesn't fully trust but can't help but fall in love with. End of that road. Mary asks, how did the vet go the other day for Keo, hoping Keo's doing much better and a solution cure is on hand. It went well. He has an infection wound, something in the middle of his paw, not between the toes, but in that cavity of the paw. So he is on pain meds and antibiotic. And we are not walking as much. Speaking of which, he was licking. Yeah, you know that word. And Mary says, oh dear, that one sounds awful. Yeah, and riding away, saddled. Yeah, I know, it was bad. I tried hard. The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, first in the Stonewater Kingdom. This author is popular, or gaining popularity. She does usually duologies. Sybil Delling has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dreams at all. Like the other Foundling girls who traded a decade of service for a home in the Great Cathedral, Sybil is a diviner. In her dreams, she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as omens. From them, she can predict terrible things before they occur, and lords and common folk alike travel across the kingdom of Trom's windswept moors to learn their futures by her dreams. Sounds like Minority Report. Just as she and her sister diviners near the end of their service, a mysterious knight arrives at the cathedral. Rude, heretical and devilishly handsome. The knight Roderick has no respect for Sybil's visions, but when Sybil's fellow diviners begin to vanish one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help in finding them. For the world outside the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. Only the gods have the answers she is seeking. And as much as she'd rather avoid Roderick's dark eyes and sharp tongue, only a heretic can defeat a god. Filthy Rich Fae, Fallen Court, second in the Filthy Rich Fae series by Geneva Lee. Kate thought she knew darkness. As a trauma nurse, she had witnessed the worst of humanity, but nothing, not the blood, the violence, or the despair, could have prepared her for the Fae underworld, a realm where beauty is a weapon, desire is a trap, and mortals who stray too far don't return. She almost didn't. Until Lachlan Gage, shadowed, ruthless, and feared even among his own kind, bound her to him with a deadly bargain. As the Prince of New Orleans and ruler of the Nether Court, he is as much a curse as he is a salvation. And with the Wild Hunt at his heels and war stirring between the Fae courts, even his protection may not be enough to save her. Because Kate is more than just his reluctant mortal. She is wanted, coveted, and the Prince of the Hollow Court will do anything to claim her. But something ancient is rising in the dark, warping Fae magic into something unnatural and cruel. It has nothing to do with Kate's past, or so she tells herself, even though the ring left behind by her mother whispers otherwise. There is only one thing more dangerous than the Fae who would kill for her, the Fae who would die for her. And Lachlan Gage has never been one to lose. Marked by Moonlight, The Moon Chasers, Book 1 by Sophie Jordan. Claire Morgan has always been the quiet one, a shy, mousy school teacher, overlooked and unwanted, until one day, out of nowhere, she wakes up a whole new woman, bold, wild, passionate, and impossible to ignore. When Gideon March tells her she was bitten by a werewolf, Claire doesn't want to believe the brutally handsome stranger. Can you be brutally handsome? Sure, she was attacked by a nasty dog in a back alley, but this guy insists he's a member of an underground society of lichen hunters, and his mission is to kill her. But Claire and Gideon are bound by a desire they can't resist. And if they can't break the curse by the next full moon, Claire's soul will be lost forever, and Gideon will be forced to end the woman who is dangerously close to devouring him, heart and soul. Whatever happened to, like, epic fantasy? A Helm of Darkness by Roxanne Downing. First in the Celestial Remnants series. For 5 centuries, the unseen shield has protected Rhea Ashwood's kingdom, trapping the Angel of Death and his demonic army beneath a shadowy dome. As a guardian, one of the kingdom's elite soldiers, Rhea has spent her life fighting the creatures that slip through. Among a male-dominated order, she serves in its rare all-female unit, disciplined, loyal, and bound to no one. So, when the king decrees that all eligible women, including her unit, must take part in the ceremony, a forced marriage rite to preserve the population, Rhea is furious. Guardians have always been exempt, and she refuses to be bound to anyone, least of all the possessive crown prince. In truth, Rhea has a far more pressing issue. Her bonded partner, long presumed dead inside the shield, is alive. Worse still, the Angel of Death has marked her as the key to his escape. If she crosses the shield to save Jove, she could doom the very world she has thrown to protect. Despite desperate for answers, Rhea turns to Call, a sharp-tongued exile from the banished, descendants of those who once served the angel himself. Call is reckless, infuriating, and far too tempting to trust. And when the crown prince forces his way into their mission, Rhea's carefully guarded heart begins to crack. With war looming and her heart pulled in 3 directions, Rhea must make an impossible choice. Rescue the boy who shares her soul, or risk everything for the one who threatens to claim it. Oh, honey, just take all 3. End of that row. The Last Historian by Dennis Davis. A gripping odyssey through a future world where history itself is a battlefield. Follow Eli, a lone historian struggling to piece together humanity's forgotten past amidst the ruins of a shattered civilization. As he uncovers buried secrets and lost memories, Eli's quest for truth becomes a race against time in an uncertain future. And there's a whole lot of verbiage. And that is all we have for fantasy. It's kind of a slow week in a lot of areas. Memory Collectors kind of makes me want to see if there's more to it. But we've got some time left here, so let's continue with our cozy mysteries. What I'm thinking might happen is Monday is a holiday. It is the first 3-day weekend since our first day off since January 1st. So I'm thinking of not doing the morning show on Monday. So I'm thinking of doing a whole bunch of the cozy mysteries that we would normally do next Monday, tomorrow. So let's get through the cozy mysteries as best we can today from earlier this week that are published this week, if that makes any sense. Murder at a Musical Retreat by P.C. James. This is book 6 in One Man and His Dog Cozy Mysteries. Tom Ramsey is finding his rhythm, so when local authorities ask the former inspector to advise their top suspect in a killing, he cautiously agrees to evaluate the evidence. And though the young woman's pleas of innocence ring false, the dog detective can't ignore a whisper of doubt, especially when another musician turns up dead. Chasing stolen instruments, backstage shadows, and missing money, Ramsey composes a long list of alternate suspects. But instincts alone can't clear his client's name, and the frustrated Scott is running out of time. Can Ramsey solve the case before the last note becomes a funeral dirge? Inlaid to Rest by Casey Griffin, third in the Charm Island mystery series. Violet Woods and Max Nichols have a lot standing in their path, including the ghost of her fiancé. Seeking to repair past mistakes, she visits the island's new luxury resort where Max works, but when she stumbles upon a dead body near his sailboat and he's accused of murder, she must solve the mystery to clear his name or risk losing him forever. As Violet and Max dig through this resort's suspicious roster, their investigation uncovers deeper secrets trapped between them, like Max's positively shocking talents. With her late fiancé lingering and time running out, confronting their painful history might be the only key to uncovering the real killer. But once bitten, twice shy. She fears reopening old wounds will tear her apart, literally. Can she sniff out the truth before their past comes back to bite them? Yet there is a cat on the cover. Mary says, sounds like a very good plan. Take the time off from work and from here. Enjoy every minute of it. You certainly will. Thank you very much. You doing anything this weekend? Do you have a show or anything? A Study in Black Brew by Marie Howalt. Kellyeth, oh my goodness. Rain Araninthianth was headed for a career as a field chemist on a newly settled planet. Okay. This should have been in fantasy anyway. When their dreams and ambitions were crushed by coincidences and chronic illnesses, they returned broke to the Wendek homeworld Ganmak, where everyone's basic needs are covered, but import luxuries like Kellyeth's favorite human-made beverage, Black Brew, is costly. While piecing together a new life and recovering from their ordeals, Kellyeth ends up sharing lodgings with the attractive, enigmatic drinking game and infuriating Rathan Weinzolnian. When a human is found dead next to an alarming message on the wall in an empty house, Kellyeth gets caught up in a gruesome mystery involving Rathan and local Peace Corps. Who is the human? How did he die? What is Rathan hiding? And when will Kellyeth have the time to catch their breath? Murder at the English Manor by Helena Dixon, 20th in the Miss Underhay Mysteries. At home in Devon, Kitty is attending a ball at the very grand Markham Hall. With celebrations in full swing and everyone kitted out in their glad rags, Kitty and Matt enjoy the champagne, but the next morning the party feels well and truly over when Kitty stumbles across a body while out walking her dog Bertie, and maid Agnes is dead, and everyone at Markham Hall is a suspect. Kitty and Matt set about piecing together the puzzle as the streamers are swept away and empty glasses gathered up. But who could the murderer be? The other maids seem shifty. Lord and Lady Faversham, the hosts, are not without motive, and even Kitty's grandmother is keeping her cards close to her chest this time. But then a safe filled with precious jewels has its lock broken, and another body is found tangled up in the weeds of the lake in the grounds. Kitty wonders if the poor guests knew their dancing days were almost over when they were merely sipping punch the night before, and what secrets are the other guests hiding? Can Kitty save the next victim at the 11th hour, or will this really be a weekend to die for? End of that row. As Luck Would Have It by Louisa May Leah, first in Works Like a Charm, Cozy Mysteries. Luck had never been on Tangi Thomas's side. If it had, then she wouldn't be selling her so-called lucky charms to the unsuspecting townsfolk of Clio, Alabama. And believe you me, she'd much rather be doing just about anything else. But what could she do when her luck was so bad it cost her job after job until she was left with nothing but her charming personality and a few pretty baubles? She'd opened her business charmed, I'm sure, right out of her ancient bewitched purse, and she'd been just naive enough to think things were starting to look up for her when, lo and behold, her first official client kicked the bucket as soon as she snatched her overpaid love charm from Tandy's still outstretched hands. To make matters worse, she'd keeled over right in the middle of Griddle My Grits, Cleo's best and busiest diner, during the breakfast rushes. She'd landed face down in a triple stack of buttermilk pancakes while the formidable Detective Hugh Hodges was looking on. Now, if that didn't beat all. Fresh start? Not as Luck Would Have It. It's got a lot of snark, and I don't hate it. I don't normally like paranormal ones. I won't read it, but quite snarky. Mary says, no show scheduled. Have been very lazy about booking shows. That's okay. No special plans for Monday. Every day is a holiday for me now that I'm retired, so it doesn't hold special allure. I get it. I understand. I have been looking forward to this. So, what I think that is what we'll do our very best to do. I'll set things up. So we'll finish with the, 3 left from ones for this week. And then we will look at the Cozy Mysteries starting for next week. All right. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. We do every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoon. Hope you have a very good Friday Eve. Be safe. Read good books. Mary, have a good time at the library. And let me know what you got. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. As the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.